Advocates have to be good problem solvers, so they're working with a lot of different systems. It might be Centrelink, it might be other government departments, NDIS, it can be the court systems, and those systems are complex, and we're good at problem solving in those systems and working out how to negotiate solutions and how to help people, support them with processes for complaints and how to get good outcomes. Advocacy sits independently of service providers, and that's really important because it means that it is independent of them. We're not accountable to those service providers, so we can act in the client or the participant's interests and not worry about that we're funded through that service provider or that we have any association with them. We can just look at their processes and their complaints, and then also apply external legislation to recognise areas of discrimination. Advocacy, doesn't provide case management. We don't look for housing for people, and we can't set up people's supports. It is really focused on rights and entitlements. So generally we say, when we're thinking about if it's an advocacy issue, has something been denied? So, and that's how we look at it and see if we feel like the person's been discriminated against or can't access something, and that's where it's an advocacy issue. But we don't, if they have services, have access to services but need those services put in place, that isn't our role, and we also don't provide legal advice. With individual advocacy, which is what my work is involved in, you're gathering information. So you're getting an idea, because you're working with lots of different people across lots of different issues. You're getting a good idea of what the problems are out there, and that can sort of help feed back information to government departments or to service providers about what's wrong. So it does, those individual voices collectively can create change.
I've been with Brain Injury Matters since about 2010, and it just allows me to be part of a group with acquired brain injuries. And when I say part of the group, like sort of my skill of trying to help other people with acquired brain injury to live a better life and manage their own terms of having an acquired brain injury. Self-advocacy is you look after yourself the best way possible. You pass on the information to managing yourself to having a great life. With my accident, I made a few bad choices with alcohol and drugs, and I speak to people today about, speak to older teenagers about life choices, how they should make better or make smarter choices. We've recently just created a phone application for people with acquired brain injury to live a better life, to know more about having acquired brain injury. And you're not alone. There are other people out there that suffer the same sort of thing.
At Whiteash, there's a bit of self-advocacy and a bit of systemic advocacy. So we do have an advocate that works at Whiteash that can help with self-advocacy. And then we also have a steering committee made up of young people who kind of advise the Youth Disability Advocacy Service on where young people, want their voices heard and what we can do to make sure that young people are heard within the disability sector. Systemic advocacy has really made a difference in a lot of arenas. I guess one that's particularly relevant to young people is a few years ago, a group of disability advocates got together and advocated for music venues to be more accessible. So around Melbourne, like the Corner Hotel and the Gasometer, they advocated for that to become more physically access friendly.
Advocacy is really important because it gives people an opportunity to have a voice and to be represented where they may not otherwise have felt they would be. So I think that sometimes it's very hard to feel recognised and to feel like you have agency when you have a disability, and having an advocate, you can help support someone to understand their rights and to be empowered to continue to sort of feel like they can express those rights going forward, even once that advocacy issue is, the outcome is complete. Generally, those service providers, if they're good at what they do and they're working in the best interests of the clients and participants, which generally they are, they welcome the insight of and the assistance of an advocate, because we're helping the client get the right outcomes and we're working within those systems to do it. So it's not like it's not bullying or, that's not our tactics. It's to look at how things actually work and how it can benefit the service provider and the client.